hydrogen manages oxidative stress and inflammation in the body. Our body, like I said earlier, should naturally be making hydrogen gas through the fermentation of food in our colon. What helps our joints be pumped up properly is water. 93% of blood is water. You're not going to change your body's pH because every one of your organs operate at a specific pH.
Expert in hydrogen science and the founder of ECHO, Hydrogen Enriched Water. Our guest today on the Settle or Be Better podcast is Dr. Paul, who's going to be talking to us about oxidative stress, preventing chronic diseases, anti-aging, and a lot more. So welcome, Dr. Paul, and over to you. Why don't you begin by telling us a little bit about your personal health and well-being story and your current work?
So, hydrogen, right? So hydrogen, first of all, we need to understand that hydrogen, our bodies are supposed to make hydrogen, and it's gut damage that stops this ability for our bodies to produce the hydrogen that our body is supposed to produce. And just so everyone knows why that is so problematic is hydrogen manages oxidative stress and inflammation in the body. And the combination of oxidative stress and inflammation is the leading cause of disease. So we have to have hydrogen in our body to prevent disease models and also joint issues, brain issues, neurologic issues, energy production, sleep, everything.
Understood. It's really something interesting that I have also come across, because not many people talk about hydrogen water. Like for me, also just looking at, hydrogen water, I'm like, what is it? So just to give an introduction to our audience, what do you mean by hydrogen water when you say that?
Well, that's a great question. So, hydrogen water, when we say hydrogen water, a lot of people think, oh, isn't water H2O? So, doesn't it already have hydrogen? And the answer is no. Once hydrogen and oxygen gas combine, you now have a liquid. You no longer have hydrogen and oxygen. You have a liquid, which is called water. It's a new substance. It's a liquid, not a gas. So when we say hydrogen water, we have H2O liquid, and then we've added H2 gas dissolved into that liquid. That's what hydrogen water means. It has nothing to do with the pH of the water. It has nothing to do with anything else other than the fact that we are dissolving hydrogen gas.
Got it. That was really insightful, and it's something absolutely new that even I have come across. I'm sure that's very insightful for our audience. But to begin with, how can we make sure that we are consuming hydrogen-rich water? What are some things that we can start looking out for?
As far as why or how?
How? Like, how should we go about
So,
it?
how? So, well, the only way to get hydrogen water, pure hydrogen water, is to purchase a device that will make the hydrogen water. So our body, like I said earlier, should naturally be making hydrogen gas through the fermentation of food in our colon or, digestion. But because of gut damage, we lose that ability. And so I developed the Echo devices years and years ago, back in 2010 and 2011. I developed the hydrogen devices that will basically separate H2O into hydrogen and oxygen gas. We send the oxygen to the atmosphere and we dissolve the H2 gas into the remaining water. And so people can get a device like this where you just push a button and you can see the hydrogen gas coming up and also the oxygen coming down. And so this is important to understand that either you get something like a portable unit, or what we sell mostly are our machines that filter water of all the contaminants and then make the hydrogen water, or dissolve the hydrogen gas into the water. And people can put this in their home and have drinking water every day.
Understood. That's really interesting, and there'll be some links in the description below. Our audience can definitely reach out and to the website of Echo, and they can certainly make a purchase for themselves, read more about it. And I believe you've also shared some amazing articles, researches about the same, which they can go and study themselves and learn more about this and make the purchase themselves. So thank you for sharing that with us and introducing us to this today. And I believe that you're someone who can really help us with the topic of hydration today, since that is also a part of
Yeah.
your work. And talking about hydration, when people say that you should have this much amount of water every day, these many liters of water every day. What are your some top five pointers when it comes to hydration? What are we doing wrong, or what is that we should definitely keep in our mind that we are hydrating our body the right way?
Well, most people, at least here in the United States where I live, they are dehydrated. So most people are not drinking enough water. And what I mean by enough water is people should be consuming half their body weight in ounces. So if they weigh 100 pounds, then they should be drinking 50 ounces of water per day. If they weigh 200 pounds, then they should be drinking 100 ounces of water per day. Um, that's the important thing to do, is to drink water that's filtered. Drink water that doesn't have contaminants in it, because if there's contaminants in the water, your body rejects the water if you're already having problems. So we need to drink water that has the contaminants removed, so that we're not drinking pesticides, heavy metals, all kinds of contaminants like this. Now, one thing I did want to say is we talked about hydrogen water, and we talked about getting devices. There is naturally occurring hydrogen water on the earth. Like India, Mexico, the United States, Japan, there are naturally occurring water with hydrogen gas in it. But the reason I created the devices was so that people didn't have to go climb a tall mountain, or they didn't have to go to rivers, for example, or certain waters on the earth in France or Mexico or India, wherever. So, but it does occur naturally on the planet. So there are places that you can get hydrogen water naturally. I just want to make sure people know that. Um, so getting back to hydration, it's really important that we drink water and be properly hydrated, because our joints, our eyes, our brain, our blood is all mostly water. When we look at our body, we're 60 to 70% water. Even our joints, when people have joint issues, it's oxidative stress and inflammation. But what helps our joints be pumped up properly is water. So when we're dehydrated, our joints can't work correctly. Our brain can't work correctly. Our eyes don't work correctly. Even like I mentioned, blood, 93% of blood is water. So it's very important that we are being properly hydrated.
Got it. Thank you so much for those insights. And there's one more thing that I would like to discuss is when a lot of people now say that the quality of water has gone down. Even filtering, just having a regular filter in our house is not enough. It's not giving us the right mineral-rich water. What are your thoughts on these companies that have come with these mineral-rich canned waters, or when you say alkaline water, the ones that a lot of audience must have seen in India as well, the black canned waters, like that are really picking up, and people are like, this is what you should consume. This is the pack you should get every single week. What are your thoughts on that? And because there is so much such conversation around making your body more alkaline and working on things that would help you reach that alkaline state. So what are your thoughts on that? Is it something that we should definitely consider, or is it total BS?
Uh, okay, so saying that our body is going to be alkaline is a misnomer. Scientifically, medically speaking, you're not going to change your body's pH, because every one of your organs operate at a specific pH. Blood, for example, is a 7.35 to a 7.45. It's a very narrow range. You're not going to affect that with anything that you consume. You do that through breath. The way the body manages blood pH is through carbonic acid and your breathing process. So we can't drink water that's going to affect our blood. And imagine if we did. If you could drink water and it would increase your blood pH, then if you drank one soda, you would die because the blood has to be in a 7.35 to 7.45 or you go into shock. So a soda is like a 1.5 pH. Lemon is a 1.5 pH, 2 pH, depending on the lemon. If you were to drink anything like this, it would plummet your pH in your blood and you would die or go into shock. So the whole principle or whole thought process about drinking alkaline water is nonsense. There is no medical benefit to drinking water at a higher pH. Really, most waters the mineral waters you're talking about, I don't have an issue with them, but what people need to understand is the minerals that are in water naturally are from rock. They're from the ground. They're inorganic. They're not in an organic state that's good for our body. It's not bioavailable for us. So we should be focusing to get our minerals from food, not from water. But again, I don't have an issue if people are drinking water with minerals in it. I'm just saying that's not the kind of mineral that is bioavailable for the body fully. And so we need to not focus so much on getting minerals through water. We need to get minerals through our food. And we need to be eating vegetables and we need to be eating because vegetables pull inorganic minerals up out of the ground and they convert it to an organic state. So that's what we need is minerals in an organic state, not minerals in an inorganic state like what would be in water. So it's very important that we purify water and that we are having no contaminants. But whether you want minerals in your water or not, it's fine with me. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. But I don't want people to think that water without minerals is somehow bad because that is false information.
Right.
Reverse osmosis, distilled water, all these kind of purification methods have always been the gold standard in medicine, distilled water. And there's a lot of false information out there talking about the fact that if you drink reverse osmosis water, then somehow the water is going to pull minerals out of your body. This is not true. It is completely false. You're not going to have any mineral deficiencies because you're drinking water with lower mineral content. So this is something I want to mention. And the thing we need to talk about when it comes to hydrogen, we just skimmed across hydrogen, but understand oxidative stress and inflammation is what causes disease. So the combination of oxidative stress and inflammation causes cancer, diabetes, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, whatever, joint issues, rheumatoid arthritis, all these different issues are results of oxidative stress and inflammation. And hydrogen would normally keep you from getting oxidative stress and inflammation. And
Right.
so that's why we need to be adding hydrogen gas into our water so that we can heal our gut and not have food allergies and at the same time not have joint issues, not have unnecessary disease models. We need our immune function to be high. Hydrogen is going to help with that as well. So getting a system that we can dissolve hydrogen gas into our water that we're consuming is critical for our health and wellness.
Got it. Understood. Thank you for those insights. That really does clarify a lot of doubts in our minds. Thank you for sharing that. And one thing, the last segment of the episode today is you mentioned earlier that we should be able to produce hydrogen naturally in our body, but some sort of gut damage stops us from doing that. So, what do you think
Right.
is causing that kind of particular gut damage, and how can we recover from it? And what are something that we can start doing that would naturally can we naturally boost the natural production of hydrogen in our body?
Yes, we can. And so when we talk about gut damage, typically that can happen from stress, toxic relationships, but typically where it comes from is pesticides and heavy metals, overuse of antibiotics. These kind of things change the electrical potential of the tissue in our colon, or what's called the gastrointestinal tract. When the electrical potential is positive because of taking antibiotics or what have you, then the anaerobic microflora that is supposed to be in our gut no longer has a home because the terrain and the biome has been changed. So we need to change the polarity of the tissue of the gut to be a negative 300 millivolts to a negative 400 millivolts of electrical potential. And that's what hydrogen does as well. Hydrogen will repair the electrical potential of the gastrointestinal tract so that the tissue is a negative electrical potential. And then you've changed the terrain or the biome so that these wonderful anaerobic microflora, these bacteria that are supposed to be in our gut, can come back and create communities and thrive. So this is the fastest and easiest way to fix or repair gut dysfunction, is to change the electrical potential of the tissue in the gut to a negative 300, negative 400 millivolts. That is, and that's what we do. Typically, when people are drinking the echo water that has the hydrogen gas goes into the gut, and within 2 weeks can greatly improve gut function.
Wow, that's amazing to know. Thank you for sharing that. And that brings us to the end of the episode today. As we conclude, do you have any last messages or thoughts to leave us?
No, just I wish the best for everyone. The reason I developed the Echo Water system was originally to help my wife with her gynecological issues, thyroid issues, and I was able to help her. And then I said, "Holy cow, there's got to be a lot of other people that we can help." And that's why I started the whole process. And so today we have millions of people all over the world that are benefiting from Echo Water and getting hydrogen into their body again and having better brain function, better energy production, better, you know, less fatigue in their life, all these different things, less chance of having disease models, better immune function, all these kind of things. We have many pro athletes and people that are athletes that don't want to get tired during their game or whatever. And so they drink the water so they don't have lactate buildup in the muscle, they don't have fatigue. So my last thing would be, I want you to accomplish your potential as a person, your divine potential. And that's really why I developed the system, was to have the body functioning the way it's designed to function so that you can have the energy and abilities that you need to go out and thrive in this world. And that's really what Echo Water is about, is helping you be who you want to be and thrive.
Absolutely. That's a lovely message. And like mentioned before, our audience can find the links in the description below. I mean, Echo looks really amazing. You also have portable devices that people can just use on the go. So that's really great news. And I'm sure you ship worldwide. So we are lucky we'll be able to have this in India as well. And I hope that our listeners do take that step and definitely reach out to you, learn more from you, and get to experience the benefits of Echo. Thank you so much once again, Dr. Paul, for being here today and for sharing these amazing insights. This really helps us with hydration, with knowing more about hydrogen that not many people are talking about right now. So thank you so much once again for this.
You're welcome. Thank you. It's been an honor.
That's it for today's episode. I am Sakshi Pawar and I'll be your host for the Settle or Be Better podcast. So stay tuned while we bring more inspiring stories. You know the drill. Subscribe to the Settle or Be Better podcast, like, share, and comment on our videos. And oh, hit the bell icon because you don't want to miss the mind boggling health discussions we're about to bring for you. Why settle when you can be better?